Welcome to the update, ladies and gentlemen. On our first ever episode, we're going to be talking about new Xbox One consoles that have no disk drive, as well as Microsoft rolling out a lot of their games and exclusives to Steam and other PC mediums. We're also going to be talking about Ubisoft rolling out a game that's very similar to Zelda and has a lot to do with Greek mythology. And lastly, we're going to talk about NVIDIA rolling out a line of computers that are supposed to be fighting the good fight against MacBook Pros. This is the update. Xbox is rolling out, or they have rolled out, these Xbox consoles that don't have any discs in them. What do you guys think about them?
It's a logical step. It's weird.
I think it's the future of the 90s. Like
future of the 90s? You mean today?
Yeah, because like
everything's the future of the 90s, Tim.
Here's why. 80s, 90s, you've got cartridges, you've got like physical media that you gotta slam.
Wait, hold on.
Some sort of receptacle.
Hold on. Are we going?
And hope that it fucking works.
So if we're going away from disk drive for Xbox, are we going to?
Are we getting
cartridges?
cassette drives?
Yeah, are we going cassette drives? Are we bringing back the floppy drive?
I hope
honestly,
so.
Is that what you're telling me here?
I hope so. But
that would
the
be
thing here is that like the future of the 90s would probably have been completely physical media based, like is gone and phased completely out, and that all you have to do is start it up and play the game.
right.
So we have a picture of this. Is this the actual thing, or did somebody just Photoshop this out?
I'm pretty sure that's the actual.
So
thing.
they're making this.
It literally just looks like one of the Xbox One S's.
It looks like my One S right down there.
And it just doesn't have the disc slot.
All right, so
It looks Photoshopped to me. Like
No.
that's because I could take a picture of mine and Photoshop the fucking drive out very easily.
real,
Very easy.
the actual production model for it, all they did was remove the actual cut groove
Yeah.
for the overplate.
Okay.
That's
So,
all.
second question.
It's literally just a
It's literally a
Xbox
box
it's
with a bunch of
Microsoft
holes
trying to
poked in.
push streaming gaming and like their Game Pass and all the we have like Ubisoft has one, EA has one.
So I
and-
know I can stream from my Xbox to my computer, but kind of
Right.
like Steam Link, can I just have my Xbox out here and have my computer run all the processing and just like use it as a little Steam box?
Not
Are they
quite.
gonna allow that?
What's the point of
Not
buying
yet.
that then?
Not
Yeah.
yet.
Because the Steam Link's not that expensive, is it?
Yeah, Steam Link's like
$5.
$5 when I buy it on sale.
No. Buy it on sale. It's like free with a purchase
So
of
the
the game.
MSRP
No, it's free with shipping. It's like $2.
the MSRP of the dickless One S is $250.
Okay, and is it going to be able to play 4K native at 60p?
Yeah, it has all the same stuff as the S. I'm pretty sure.
It's literally the same hardware.
Yeah, it's the same
only
as the hardware. They
difference-
just got rid of the optical drive.
Are they adding in a second SSD for more memory? Are they going to do a RAID
Nope.
0? Or it's
No,
just going to have the
no,
same?
It's exactly
Yep.
the same.
It's
That's
literally
fucking-
the same.
They made it a little bit cheaper,
Yep.
and it's
Oh, yeah, because
For-
a
those
disk
people-
drive
what-
costs $50.
those people that
It
can't.
literally costs like
the
5 to
like
10.
you know how expensive games are.
Yeah.
like especially toward the end of the year, October, November ish time. Like just there's a bunch of games that come out. And
Yeah.
you're like, wow, I really want to go crazy. And then there's a couple in summer too and stuff. This is like specifically designed for those people that only do the streaming services. They have whatever Ubisoft's what's it called? Uplay or whatever.
Uplay, I mean,
I don't know, I don't play
Uplay
Xbox.
Plus.
But-
Something all the streaming service and
EA's,
especially
yeah.
because they
I know what you're talking about.
Xbox EA's one is freaking awful. But
Of course.
because it's like $15 a month.
Because it's EA.
But
And,
here's the thing is,
and
like-
it's EA, but
It's the evil association.
It's extremely awful.
Microsoft has they just did their huge deal with the Ultimate Game Pass. They just launched their Game Pass on PC as well as the Ultimate version, which is the Xbox and Gold together.
Yeah.
And this is specifically built for people that are like, hey, I don't buy a whole lot of games, but I do play a lot of Game
So,
Pass. And
but
stuff.
here's the thing is,
that's
like,
streaming
a problem.
games to their console.
my
That's a
internet.
problem.
Okay, here's my problem. My internet went out the other day.
yeah,
I
would not be able to use any of this.
I knew that the PS4 does this thing where if the internet goes out and you cannot log into the PS Plus, you can't play any of your online games that you've downloaded.
right.
Correct.
And the Xbox is the same way. So I couldn't play fucking Red Dead because I didn't have that's the things like, first of all, you have to have an online live account to do these.
Mm-hmm.
Your DRM is connected to that.
Right.
For the first 3 years of owning an Xbox,
Maybe.
I didn't have Live. I didn't have that account because my parents didn't let me. And I'm totally under the school of thought. If my child's under 16, he doesn't need to be playing video games online. That's my opinion. So when I have children, like, that's what's going to happen.
Under 16?
Under 16.
Never thought about that. I always talk to Aaron about, like, okay, what kind of game console are they going to get when they're growing up? Are they going to get a phone? My answer was, no, I'm giving him fucking Game Boy Color.
Good idea.
And they have to figure that. I'm gonna give him like Rayman, like hard games, like Rayman, Space Invaders.
Shit that
My
actually
version
has
of Blue.
content in
But yeah,
it.
so there's a
Those
question.
games that you are just so.
I don't know, like, I don't know anyone else's. Like, I want children. I'm sure Josh may
Ugh.
not want children.
Eventually, yeah.
What age would you let your child play online?
Play online.
Honestly, I agree with the idea of 16 years old because at that point they have an understanding of what's okay and what's not okay.
Exactly.
I mean,
Because
16 is partway through high school, and you got to think about online experiences like getting thrown to the wolves. Like
Yes,
you remember Call of
yes.
Duty lobbies and stuff. Like,
Yes.
I
it's-
agree
Yeah.
with my
But
parents.
16 does seem old.
Your parents probably sat next to you and played the games with you, though.
No. Actually, they were not, like, at all. Okay, when I was growing up, Dad had a job, Mom had a job. I was home pretty much alone.
Oh, really?
Most of my time.
I would have figured that your dad played the games with you.
But I was online at 6. And
See,
I,
I
mean-
was playing hardcore M-rated games. I was playing Half-Life 1 at the time. I was also doing CSGO.
I mean, I
had
played-
Team Fortress.
I
had
played
all of
Quake
that.
online. I played those things
Warcraft
online.
2.
But
My-
there's a difference because, like, consoles nowadays, you sit down there and, like,
It has
you get
begun.
down and, like,
Consoles.
I don't play games like Call of Duty on Xbox and all of that because every time I get on there and I put the headset on after high school, I just heard, yeah, fucking yeah! Like, I heard shit like
Christ.
that. Literally like that from children. And I'm like, nope, fuck.
The word you're looking for is squeaker. It's called a squeaker.
It's called a squeaker.
But see,
Or that time that mother's like, you can't swear in this video game. Bitch, it's M-rated. Your 12-year-old child shouldn't even be playing it right now.
Yeah, so fuck you, you cunt.
yeah.
Online interactions are not rated by the ESRB, so
Right.
fuck
Never.
off.
Never.
See, I have like a totally skewed
Just look at fucking Minecraft.
view
Like, Jesus.
of
Minecraft
like
porn.
of games
Roblox
and
porn.
internet like usage and stuff because like when I was growing up I didn't have a computer
Yeah.
at all. Like when I was like in middle school I had like a Windows 98 pretty much from middle school up to I turned
Windows
18 and
98.
bought my own laptop.
Online.
Literally, but I couldn't do any. There was the only game it could run is StarCraft and StarCraft Brood War, and like if I was into it, I could have run like like Zoo Tycoon and
Yeah. I ran Stronghold.
Roller Coaster Tycoon and stuff. But I never did. But like there's no voice chat there. There's just like
Yeah.
There's
Typey
also-
type.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that
There is also
if
an
there's no
etiquette
voice
to
chat-
online gaming.
If there's no voice chat,
in
your
StarCraft there was
kid is
Yeah,
going
sure.
to learn
because that was
etiquette
hardcore
better
Korean.
because they're going to be working out how the mechanics of the game work and how you
Yeah.
can be like acceptable online.
With PC gaming, there's definitely like you
Yeah.
learn an etiquette to how to play online, and with systems like this, you
See,
don't.
I think
You really don't.
I think I would be okay with like a 10, 12-year-old playing online, but they're not going to be playing like they're not going to be playing like Gears of War and
Oh,
like
absolutely
stuff that
not.
is M-rated
Oh,
or teen rated.
hell
Like
no.
like
My
they
kid is going to be playing GTA 14.
no.
He's going to be playing Gears of
Dude,
18.
I specifically remember
Gears
the
of
very,
18.
the very first M-rated game I ever got. It was Hitman 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
And I literally had to like beg and like prove to my mom that I was mature enough to be able to get that game when I was like 14,
Oh, really?
13. Yeah, no, I legitimately had to like I just talked to her for like a couple weeks of just like I can do like just basically proving to her that I can handle those types of games and stuff. And I specifically remember like the first time that we got like M-rated. I don't know what it's called for like music and stuff. Adult advisory.
Oh, yeah.
Explicit. It was the Green Day album.
American Idiot.
American Idiot.
Yeah.
We got
Oh, yeah.
for my brother. My mom literally, before he was allowed to play it, my mom went through and they had the booklet in there. It had all the lyrics and stuff. She read through all of it and stuff just to make sure she knew what
So
kind
he couldn't
of
listen
content.
to American Idiot
No,
or something?
he could, but like my mom just needed to know what kind of content.
you guys were
My mom wasn't like a lot of parents. She was like very much okay with a lot of things as long as she knew what it was.
Yeah.
Like she didn't care if I was out doing hood rat shit as long as she knew who I was with and like what it was I was doing and stuff.
I mean,
But-
I kind of agree with that. My first
Yeah.
M-rated game was a golf game.
Golf. What?
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
It was
Good one.
Did you get it yesterday?
no. It was like a porn. It was like a porn golf game. It was really weird.
What the fuck?
Yes, I still have it. It's
And the
at my
stuff.
house.
Is it like Hot
Like
Shots
Dead or
something?
Alive, except
Dead or-
I think it was like Hot
Dead or
Shots.
Alive, where they just have mechanics just for the boobs.
just
It was
the-
like I think it was like Hot Shot Golf or something,
Yeah.
but it was M-rated and it had like just women dressed.
Yeah,
Flat-
super.
Yeah, that sounds like a Dead or Alive or like a Dead or Alive
But I
offshoot
was
game.
I was
Like, almost
15.
exactly.
This is funny. I was 15. I came home from school, turned on the PS4, and went to start playing Kingdom Hearts. Or PS2 at the time.
Yeah.
Went to start playing Kingdom Hearts, right?
Yeah.
And my dad had put the disc in and was playing it over the night and forgot to take it out. And then my mom saw it, and then his excuse was, "Well, it's too late now. You might as well play it." So, but I mean, like,
cramming the game down your ears.
but I mean, like,
learn about life.
I would let them play online if I'm sitting there, and it's gonna be games that I allow. So, like, I would definitely say like World of Warcraft's gonna be one of those. games.
There's a huge difference
Yeah, dude.
between parents that are just like, oh yeah, you can just do whatever,
Yeah.
and parents that are like going to be responsible about it. But like, do you remember when like you'd rent a game from Blockbuster, and if it was M or a movie that was R or something, like you had to have a parent or
Yeah.
at least be 16 or 17 years old.
Exactly.
That you had to have a parent there, and like a lot of times. Because Blockbuster was right down the road from my house, so like I would
Yeah.
go there just to like look at things and play their consoles. But like there were a lot of parents that were just like, ah, what? I don't care, blah 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 blah. Like they just didn't think of it as like a because it can be bad. Like there are some games especially that
I remember,
are
like-
super explicit and should not be like seen.
I grabbed.
Definitely not
audiences.
by definitely not by kids
see,
and whatnot.
I remember.
That
I
should
grabbed
100%
Fallout
be
3,
left.
which is M-rated, by the way.
Yeah.
Is it really?
It was. I grabbed Fallout 3, and
I could see that.
I took it to my mother, and I'm like, I want to get this game, and she's like, I remember her looking at it, and I don't. At the time, I don't like. I feel like she didn't really like look at it that in depthly.
Yeah.
But I asked her about it like years later, and she's like, "Oh yeah, every game you've ever grabbed, like we actually did
Yeah,
research on.
ma-
Your dad
mature
would go
games.
online and Google, like he would look up that game and look at the content behind it.
See, I feel like that's so rare because like mature games, like when we were growing up, were like brand new.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Mature
in the
games were
past,
new.
like you had games where you like shot things like Doom, and you had games like
Mortal Kombat.
arcade style games, but they were like gory and stuff. Like that was the extent of the maturity. There wasn't games like like Grand Theft Auto that included like drugs,
Right.
violence. Like,
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto like included like prostitutes and stuff. Like that started becoming a thing.
Two
as
of
we
my,
were
so
growing up.
two of my students at my karate class, they're 9-11. Their dad literally just took them to get the new Mortal Kombat game, which blows my mind that he would allow them to play something that is as infamously gory as
Well,
Mortal Kombat.
okay, so I know a lot
My
about
first
Mortal
mature
Kombat.
game was Mortal Kombat when I was 6. Because I remember playing Mortal Kombat on the NES.
Yes,
Yeah.
I had Mortal Kombat as
But
well.
do we consider that
I-
like that's just gore?
That's just gory. That's
Okay.
that's a little bit different.
See, this is where it's like
I'm looking
one
for,
of
like,
those
mature
really weird
topics.
things, because like my parents were just like, yeah, sure, and also my father was just like, I'm gonna play this as well, so obviously I'm gonna buy the game because, like,
Yeah.
obviously I'm gonna buy it. My kid will just play it if he wants to.
I mean,
Right.
that's
If he
pretty
wants
much how I got into Final
I feel
Fantasy.
like a lot of games that we're gonna buy growing up, our kids are just not gonna be interested at all. They're gonna
Probably.
Right.
Kids when we have kids, like 20 years down the road, they're gonna be all about just mobile
I love
games.
how you're like.
100%.
I love how Josh is like 20 years down the road. We're almost 30. You're gonna
No,
have
yeah,
kids
but
when you're 50.
no. I mean, because like
Boy.
obviously your kids are not gonna be playing stuff when they're like
Infants,
five.
yeah.
But
Duh.
Guy right here.
Well,
Tim,
Tim's
you're the
gonna have
exception. out of all
savant
of
children
us.
that
But
play
anyways.
at 1 year old.
Children.
They're just gonna have like a PS4 controller, and they're gonna be like owning and like just gonna be like speedrunning Final Fantasy VII and breaking world records.
But
And
anyways,
they have
my
a
point
voice
with the whole Mortal
modulator
Kombat.
so that they sound like they're 30. Just
Hey,
insulting people in their
My
moms.
point with the whole Mortal Kombat thing
boys.
is because, you know, like with the original Doom, like, yeah, that is a hands down rated M, but you're killing something that's not human, and people are usually okay with
Right.
that. Whereas in Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat, you're literally ripping somebody's spine out and tearing their
so
head
I know,
out,
I
ripping
know a
them
lot
in
about
half.
Mortal
So
Kombat because it's like one of the game series that I really really love.
right, so just that imaging
and the
of
biggest
just
thing for
disemboweling
Mortal
an
Kombat-
actual person.
The biggest thing for
the
Mortal
weird
Kombat
part.
wasn't necessarily that it had those things. It was that it was like the first to have those things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like it was one of the first games where they're like it is the reason for the ESRB. Like
Yes.
that Mortal Kombat is the reason it
Nah,
exists.
bro, Night Trap is.
Ooh,
Because-
Night Trap also is
Because
probably the reason.
they like they people and parents were just like it's like they're gonna. It was just like when rock music started becoming a thing. Like heavier music,
Yeah.
and you're like, it's the Antichrist coming back up to haunt us and kill us.
I have,
much.
I have a
They're
quick,
taking our children.
I have a quick
They're
tangent.
consuming their virgin souls.
Doing this thing called the D&D.
Yeah, He-Man, yeah.
I have a quick tangent question about you guys.
This whole
to
thing
ask
is
you
a
guys.
tangent.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
tangent, but it's a good tangent. More specifically, like, did your your own morality affect your choices in games? Because like when I first played through Fallout 3, I never did any drugs.
Oh, 100%.
Fuck yeah,
Yes,
dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
I literally, it's like a struggle for
In
me
RPGs
to
and
play the
non-RPGs.
evil. Like
Same.
Oh,
even
really?
even though when we play D&D or something like that, I'm always playing like a rogue. I'm always like a
You're a
rogue
good
that stands
rogue.
up for the good guy.
Yeah, I know.
You're more to. You're
And
more
it
just
has
like
like
that.
a Robin Hood.
Yeah.
I like now that I'm older, I like playing evil characters, and I've played through Fallout Evil.
Because you're cynical now.
I am very cynical. I'm very bitter.
Bitter.
Bitter old man.
But like, I find it hard. Like D&D is the worst because I don't always want to play an evil character because like we're usually playing with Danny, and Danny always plays like the lawful good paladin.
I mean, I'll say this right now. Yes, I do play lawful good, but my favorite new character to play is still Bronze Johnson, the big old dimwit, and it is wonderful.
But either way, he's still lawful good, and if I was a
For the most
purely
part.
evil
It's just
character,
really dumb.
you would your character would have to kill me. You know what I mean? So there's
which
that thing,
my
like,
character did, not to his character, but to the other chaotic evil character in our last big run that we had together.
But you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. That's kind of like the challenge of playing an evil character, in D&D, and I think that's a challenge of playing an evil character in a lot of online games is that you're automatically entering hard mode.
I like
yeah.
the fact that games like that have easy, not easy, medium, hard, good and bad and neutral and stuff like Fallout.
Infamous.
Sounds like easy
I-
medium
I
hard.
like-
I love Infamous.
I like how you can, play the game again and get a completely different take on a lot of different things.
Yeah.
It adds more depth and stuff. I really don't know anyone who just naturally was like, yeah, I'm just gonna kill everyone. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I think
morals,
I've met anyone
morals, like, at least for like normal people, I felt like played a huge role, and it was very difficult for.
You want to know how you do this? You get them to play Undertale and see if they go on a 100% genocide run, as in they
Straight
kill
off the
everybody. If they do a 100% genocide run, then
something's
they
wrong.
are 100% sociopaths.
So that's basically like your new psychological evaluation test. Is we're gonna
works.
You
sit
give
down
them a
and play
game
Undertale.
and tell
Get
them
them
to
to play
play it.
Undertale.
There's different ways to play it and see how they go about it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But anyway, getting back on topic here. So the no disc consoles with Microsoft, overall it's weird. It's like Tim said, like super retro feeling.
Yeah.
Like how you get those home consoles that just plug in with the not even all three cords.
Yeah,
the
the
yellow,
television.
the yellow and the
Yeah.
red,
In
and you're
television.
just like woohoo.
But now
I
you
had
have
one for
an extra
Beyblade
added
a long time ago.
bit Of you have to have the internet.
You have to have internet because it's all about streaming now.
Yeah.
And it's also all about
And-
the DRM that's going to limit your ability to actually play those
It's
games.
gonna be
Exactly.
really weird to see kind of how they take it because it's like new grounds, like all streaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be, it's like I don't know, it's
I mean, I'm a fan.
I think it's gonna be good eventually.
It'll be good because
It's gonna
it's
have to
what
work out the kinks.
$150 cheaper than the original.
No.
it's $50
$50.
cheaper.
Only $50.
and that's
Oh.
that's just this comp. I'm sure
And
they're gonna
that's
come
just
up with
from the
other things.
MSRP.
Right.
This is not the actual like retail portion of it.
Obviously.
Some retails are actually
The
putting
same.
it to the same
Yeah.
exact level.
See, that's where I would kind of
But,
have
like-
a problem with that. I mean, you took out all this. You took out one major thing about that, and when you take something away, that typically would drop
It's-
the value.
it's
on
more
it.
of like
Also a piece of hardware that's added in that is like somewhere between $5 and $10 for the disk drive itself, and then it's literally making it so that the front fascia doesn't have that cut in it, which is
Yeah.
one less step in the processing.
Correct, which is why I feel like if they did that, at the same retail price, that'd be a little.
I feel like-
douchey.
My thing
is
is-
that the right word?
Here's
The
what I gotta
entire
say about
thing is
this.
douchey.
I
Yeah.
think
Douche.
I think it'll work if on
Goddamn
Steam.
Microsoft douchebags.
Once you own a game on
Oh, then
Steam, you can
Windows.
play that game on Steam, whether you're
Right.
online or not. Right?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
can use my Steam link to connect on my own network and play those games from my computer. If they do something like that, where I can still play the games, even though I'm not connected to the internet, then I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But then there's the whole fact that the reason I
I think
bought.
there are circumstances in which you can do that.
Yeah.
It's just
But I highly
I
don't
don't.
know.
I don't think
that
they should
80%
go.
of the games are even going to do that.
I don't think that they should go only I don't think the world should go only to this.
Oh,
like, where
no,
it's
no,
only
no, no, no.
Absolutely
disc free
not.
because
Absolutely
the reason
not.
I bought that Xbox was for 4K Blu-ray.
let me help you with
The only reason I bought the Xbox was to get a couple of games like
Yeah.
Gears, a couple of games that are only available on Xbox,
Right.
and 4K Blu-ray. That's
Well,
pretty much why.
you know-
You're going to have to remember now, anything that's going to be released on the Xbox One consoles
It's gonna be
in
on
the coming
PC
future
now.
will be on the PC.
No,
Yeah.
not anything.
Most.
It's gonna be a lot of the major titles.
that
which
comes
is
out of the
anything that
Microsoft
anybody cares
Studios.
about
Well, no, because like indie publishers
Gears
and
5
stuff are huge.
is Gears 5
Yeah,
will
but-
be on PC.
Yeah, but that's
But-
made by Microsoft Studios.
But
Oh my
indie
God.
publishers.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody's going to go for Gears 5.
Right, I know, but
You're-
that's not all games. That's
Hold
literally
on,
one
is
game.
Your
Everybody
argument about indie publishers, most indie games you can buy on every. What the biggest thing
Right.
about indie is they release it on everything. It's on PS4, it's on Xbox. Like there's your Dandara.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's on Xbox. That's on
Right.
PS4. That's on Switch.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
on PC. It's on what was that other thing that came out that was that the little indie game box.
Oh,
The
the Navu
Stradia.
Stradia? Oh,
Google's
dude, that
thing.
is a failure, Stradia.
But anyways, it's Dandara's on that
Oof.
on
big
that
ol'
network, and the Nvidia Shield network it's on
Yep.
too.
Right.
So-
To me, the
So, in other words, there's no reason for that to be counted as a unique feature.
Yeah.
it's like
There will be a
almost
few games that are only on Xbox, but I think that the majority are going to be on both systems.
I think it's going to be like 90%
now,
of games are
will
gonna
you
on
be able
both
to
systems.
buy
Yeah.
it to crossplay? No.
to me, I feel like getting rid of the disk drive is like another step, kind of like how getting rid of like couch co-op and split screen is a thing. Like a lot of games just totally got rid of it.
Well,
And
now
they,
they're bringing
don't
it
even
back, though.
involve it in their developing area.
Yeah.
And
It's become so nostalgic.
and I feel
at
like
this
it's
point.
another step in that same direction of just like
Uh.
we're moving forward whether or not you want to or
or not. Yeah.
Correct.
like Toyota.
But I mean,
used-
now
All
like,
about the train.
like Toyotas used to do.
on the oversight of that, though, like couch co-op has become so what's it called?
Nostalgic.
Nostalgic.
Or it's retro.
Yeah,
That-
it's
that's
retro.
a better word.
And that people are bringing it
Retro.
back, like Cuphead brought it back. There's another game coming out that's bringing it back.
Yeah, I
but-
mean, there's definitely still games that do, but like like Halo. Halo used to be such
Split-screen
an
co-op,
icon
yeah.
for split screen and split screen co-op.
Smash, bro.
4-person.
It's not split screen,
like-
but Smash is just couch co-op at that or
Right,
couch
no, but I'm
versus
saying like
enemies.
But Street
Halo,
Fighter and
like
Mortal
Halo
Kombat are
5.
also.
Halo 5
Yeah.
got rid of
Split screen.
a lot of split screening stuff.
Yeah.
I think
But you gotta
they
realize that, like, a Halo 4 and before, like, there's always been split screen on it.
right. No, that's what I'm saying is like
Yeah.
they just like took that away and people were like,
And they might bring it back on 6th.
oh,
Or
I think they will.
Oh,
because
they definitely
because
will.
of
With
the
the
metal
amount of
connection.
outrage that came with the last time that they did it.
But anyway, moving on, to our next topic here, with talking about like the next generation of like streaming games and like stuff like that. We touched on a little bit. Microsoft is basically trying to bring a lot of their first party titles and stuff that are made by them and bringing them over to PC, not just on Windows 10, in the god awful Windows Store, but bringing them to Steam and stuff.
Oh, really?
And,
yeah, it's actually a really good move.
Yeah, and they've done it with a few games already. They already did it with Halo Wars 1 and 2.
Okay.
They already said that they were going to move all of Master Chief Collection over. And when you think of Halo, like Forza, or when you think of Microsoft, sorry, Forza, Halo, Gears of War are like your big,
They're the big three.
your big Microsoft only titles right now.
Yeah.
And they're going to be bringing them over to other things too, not just Steam. Maybe even it hurts me to say their name, but the Epic Games Store. Like other things like that, like Origin and
we have our own fucking or what's it called? We have our own game engine, so we're gonna just have our own fucking thing, and anything designed on our game engine can only be on our store. Can't be on Steam.
That sounds like Bethesda.
Yeah, Bethesda's doing the same thing too, and it's fucking pissing me off because there's rumors that this might actually entice me to buy the new Elder Scrolls on a console versus a PC, but they're talking about if you buy it on PC, it's only going to be on the Bethesda network, just like Rage 2 is only on Bethesda net. So like now I can't buy Rage on Steam, and I have to rely on either themselves having a sale or
which is so rare,
or Humble Bundle having a sale, but Humble Bundle doesn't have a sale unless they have a sale.
Right.
So it kind of makes me mad because, and I get it, like they get to control because Steam controls when things go on sale.
But
essentially,
let's also be real here. Bethesda Net, for any of the Doom titles that just got released again from the
you can get those on
Wait,
console
on.
and stuff too.
well, yeah, you can get all
That's
the
one of the
games
things
on.
they did.
they are on console, but you still have to sign in through the Bethesda Net on console.
Yeah, for
Yes,
the Doom
but
ones.
they're trying to get rid of that because people were like, why?
yeah.
And they blew up over
Because
it.
Fallout 76,
They might have already
Fallout
fixed it.
76, you have to log into Bethesda Net, but that's because it's online.
Yeah, it's fucking online.
Well, that's an obvious thing, but Doom 1, Doom 2,
Yeah,
let's be real.
Well, there is
here.
online for
There's-
Doom 1 and Doom 2.
There's no reason for
but there's
it
no
to be
reason
online.
for it. I got Doom
No,
1.
yeah. One of the
You
things
can't-
that they did is actually
I
they
got Doom
eliminated
1 on
the-
this,
They
and I
eliminated
don't have to
the
log into
online,
Bethesda Net.
and
See,
they
I have Doom 1 on this right now, and I don't have to log into Bethesda
You
Net.
just
That's
get
what
it,
I'm playing.
just
Yeah,
like
I got
it.
it.
Yeah, so one of the things that did come up is you did have to originally.
Original.
They
On
were
the
like,
Switch?
oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and they were
Oh,
like, oh no,
really?
we're getting rid of that
Yes.
shit. People hate it because so what they did.
But not only that,
so-
it was inconsistent with who
I'm
got
sure it
the
was.
Bethesda.net
Yes.
login. So it's possible that you didn't get a single Bethesda.net
Right.
login
Ah.
since like the minute one of release. But then like a good 70% of their customers got the Bethesda.net login.
Yeah,
It was
so
hit or miss.
so
100%.
what they did was Doom available for PC.
Yep.
And originally just back last I don't know if it was on PS3 at all, but it was on Xbox 360. And what they did is they totally wiped them from the Xbox store,
Yep.
and then released them again as Xbox One editions of them and stuff, so where
Okay.
people had to buy them again. That was one of the things people hated.
Yeah.
But they
Because
So
they
Skyrim.
got rid of online,
Skyrim.
but they added in
Yeah.
extra features.
Because-
well, no, it was
No,
it's only
it's not just
$5.
that, though.
It's not
How big is that dead
It's
horse
not
that you're paying?
$40
It's not
game.
just that. If you bought it previously
Yeah.
and you had the game, they removed it from the store, and those DRM copies of the code no longer work, so you have to
Oh.
buy
Yeah,
a new
so,
version.
yeah, they had
literally
instances
stole
where
the game back from you.
yeah, they had instances where sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't.
Okay.
When you went back to play your 360, there were actually cases where they if you still played it on 360, it was still fine.
I mean, mine's
But
over there.
playing it on
Just sitting
Xbox
there,
One, they were
dead.
like, haha, no. But
Yeah.
which is dumb because I was actually about to start a Doom 2 playthrough
Ah.
because I beat Doom 1, 100% it actually.
And now it doesn't work
Good job.
anymore.
Yeah, but I have Doom 2. I have the
So-
360 version of it on Microsoft, so I'm interested.
Yep.
But I haven't been home this weekend, so I'm curious to see.
My biggest
Right.
question about this, and I know they probably talked about it at E3, the Game Pass that they're talking about, is it going to be... So if I pay the $10 a month, do I get all those games on my Xbox and my PC?
No, it's two separate Game Passes. They have Game Pass for PC and Game Pass for Xbox.
And that's dumb.
But that's the thing, is that they're actually merging to one.
Yeah,
They're going to merge to one.
So they have the Game Pass Ultimate, which is the one where it's both of them plus gold, like all in one. And that's supposed to be, I think that's like $15 a month, which is not even bad.
Not
like
bad.
For all the content you'd get from that, as compared to like, you know.
But granted, all of the DRM is going to be online.
Yeah.
So you will need to log in regardless of what your game you're actually playing, whether it needs to be single player, whether it's already downloaded or not.
So
it looks for the online DRM.
But here's
with the way
the thing.
Xbox works is that as long as the person, they use two separate licenses. Xbox is always, they have like a license to your gamer tag and a license to your console. I'm assuming it works the same with PC as well.
That's the thing. Here,
and you can use either one of them.
The code structure for it has to verify the actual key verification for the DRM on your account with the online server before you can play the game. So regardless if you have it on your offline portion, it still needs to connect online to verify that it is, to allow you to start the game.
So, but in my opinion, with this setup, $15 a month, I can play it on my PC or my Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
That allows me to like, I like it because I hope to always have internet, like, you know, be able to pay my bills and shit.
Yeah.
But you know, then I could be like, okay, so I'm gonna play this game on Game Pass. And if I beat it on Game Pass and I don't want to play it ever again, then it goes away, right? They swap out titles all the time.
Yeah, it's
So,
just like Netflix.
there's
where,
that.
Like, monthly they change things.
Or, alternatively, if I really like that game, I can go out and buy it. And if I like it better on Xbox, I can buy it on Xbox.
If you have Game Pass and have Gold, you get extra discounts on those games too.
Okay.
And it says like 100 plus high quality PC games. That's just the PC one. I have the Xbox one
on digital releases.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. You can't
it's
buy
only
it.
digital releases?
On the digital releases.
But so with the regular Game Pass, like the one that's on the actual Xbox, you have like 200 some games.
Yeah.
And they're like good. There's a lot of really, really good titles. Like they have all of Rare Replay on there. They have ESO on there. And like just like you get access to all of the Gears of War. Well, I mean, you also get
ESO's
stuff
free
like they just did this weekend.
Unless you want to play Somerset or what's the new one? Elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
Yeah, the Wyverns of Elsewhere, which I haven't bought yet, but I want to. Dragons.
But what they do a lot of times is like, you know, a lot of the games are on
just because
the Xbox
we're going to be adding
and
Scorched
PC.
Beasts into Elder Scrolls doesn't mean anything.
Anyways, you were saying.
But yeah, so like you get like a lot of content for and it swaps in and out and stuff. Like that was one of the reasons I was playing a lot of. And you also get like free beta access to a lot of Microsoft stuff. Like I got beta access into the Gears 5 thing, and then like that was last weekend.
Was that, by the way?
I didn't get to play because I was I was house sitting.
But
this weekend I can still play it until like tomorrow at like 1 p.m. or something. But this weekend they're like, oh, you know what? It went so well, and we want to really go for a stress test. We are unlocking it to everyone who has gold membership.
Cool.
So if you have it, you can even.
I don't have gold membership.
This is where it's like getting kind of crazy, though, with the whole moving to PC and everything. Is now this is kind of far out there, but what if they're actually going to be stopping Xbox console productions eventually because they're not able to meet the same quality as the PCs that are currently being produced at a price effective.
I would have to agree.
That's like unrealistic in like a money, because you have to think about the amount of people that are not PC gamers and can't, you know, they don't spend time looking up, oh, I want this part for my PC to, you know, keep it top of the line and stuff. Like you have to think about all those people that are just strictly console gamers.
Exactly.
They can always push out a PC that has all of this bundled in rather than a console, and that would be far cheaper than producing the console itself.
So here's why, Tim, and here's why we won't see the death of these things is because These things have proprietary software that is designed so that any game designed for it will run on that hardware for the next until they stop making that hardware.
Yeah.
Whereas computer games, every time a new computer game comes out, so like Fallout 76
you have
on
to, like,
PC,
stress test your PC. Like, can I do this?
Fallout 76 on PC requires decent hardware to run. Fallout 76 on a console device like this doesn't require that much.
It just requires this.
It is dumbed down, mind you. It is dumbed down than a PC.
Yeah, they basically
but it's
hardware
runnable.
lock it. But
at the same
this
time,
is more
if you want to
accessible.
talk about runnable over long periods of time, like you can play Doom on a PC, like the original release for it.
Yeah.
Right,
It's fucking runnable.
But people who want to buy
point-
consoles are the people who
our
don't
point
want to
is-
have to worry about
console-
upgrading the console every
I know.
single time.
Yeah, you
But
also
that's also
you got to
what
think
I'm
about
saying.
parents, like parents that have like multiple kids. Like they're not about to just go drop like a couple grand on a couple PCs for the house.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but here's the
You
thing:
know?
is like
Also, be real, they're dropping somewhere between $250,000 to $750,000 of grand for individual consoles for X amount of kids.
Right, but-
playing.
but anyways,
Only
over the course of, like,
only
5
fucking
years.
psychotic parents buy each console,
Yeah.
each kid a different console. That's
Well,
literally
we know
lunacy.
people that have literally bought multiple.
Oh no, I
consoles.
do. I do
In
know
the
some
same
people. And
generation.
that's
The point still
insane.
stands.
That's
Yeah, the
insane.
point
Anyways.
still stands.
But this is America, and this is what
Microsoft could build a PC,
It's bad parenting 101.
a small PC like this, which we know everyone else has done.
Oh, yeah.
MSI has done it. Razer has done it. Asus has one.
Oh, you're talking about the like the all-in-ones,
console
little
killers.
tiny.
Yeah, the little
Yeah, the
console
little-
killers, as they're
Yeah,
called.
yeah,
Microsoft could make one of those, but you got to understand is like if they make one of those and have it run off of Windows, then they have to make a new one every year with updated hardware, just like MSI has been doing. And wouldn't I understand that, like, yeah, that would be a better system to play on. You can still use a controller. It's the same size. It fits in the same spot.
It works on a Windows 10 architecture.
Works on Windows 10 architecture, but as a standpoint of a production standpoint, like now I have to pay somebody to redesign that system every year, right?
Questionably.
Questionably, they still have to put the hardware together for that system to make it proprietary enough that they can market it as a console versus a PC.
Or
Okay, and then you have to make
utilize-
one every time there's an update to systems, which we've had a Intel architecture update 4 times this year, from starting with the i9, the new i7, to the i9, to the i9 that's coming out now, to the i9X that's coming out, which is going to be the same price as the i7 was at the beginning of the year. That's why, like, this is like, okay, we're gonna design this and we're gonna build it for the next 5 years.
Yeah, this is
But
like
you also have to
accessibility
remember
100%.
that Windows 10 itself ships with virtual boxing, allowing you to create a virtual environment with virtualized hardware, which essentially could be a console-based diagram.
Well, yeah,
of the
it could,
virtual
but still-
representation of it,
Are you telling me
which
that
would
people
then
that are,
allow people to
the
play it
the
as
ba-
if
the
it's
more
a
basic
simulator.
people?
But what it comes down to is the game developers aren't going to be required because they're basically designing the game for a PC at that point. So they're going to be like, okay, we're going to design this game with our PCs, and I've heard developers talk about this. I've heard indie developers say, like, my game runs on everything because we're running an i5 dual core to actually make the game type thing.
Yeah.
And then if you have a Puget system that has 4 Quadros and 2 Xeon processors to build a game, that game's not going to run. If they build it to like the highest quality they can, that game's not going to run on Josh's 20-year-old laptop that he has sitting in his room.
But
It's not going to run
This
on
is where
Danny's
the
APU that he has sitting in his room.
this is where the statement of having a virtualized hardware solves that problem, because then it scales it back to the virtualized hardware that is compatible with, like, the Xbox One S.
But
If you
there's
were to
no...
is that
virtualize
is
all
that
of
something
the
that people have to
hardware.
set up themselves?
No,
No,
you
it
can
would
do
be set up. It would be set up.
automatically.
But the problem with it is, you're not bound. You look at the box and you be like, "Oh, this box can handle this."
Yep.
Even though the virtualized system can handle this, you design that game, and then in 2 years later, something happens, or somebody who has an older model, a 2 years older model, wants to play this game, but they designed it for the model that's out now. Now you cannot play that game on your console that's 2 years old, even though it's the same device as what Microsoft is producing today, type thing. That's why this works for them, is because it's proprietary hardware, it's proprietary software, and to publish on that system, you have to follow their specifications, and you can't build it for the hardware quality that's in it. The Xbox One X and the Xbox One X Pro, or what is the One X? The better one.
Just the X.
The X.
But this is where I'm
that
saying
one,
the virtualization of it would be reducing the amount of.
But a developer can still bypass that virtualization and design around it, which would obsolete older devices, and that would be a problem.
Essentially, not really be a problem.
So
it wouldn't be okay.
If we're making the same device for 5 years, and in year one I bought an Xbox One S that had specific hardware in it, but it's a PC, and it has PC hardware in it, and then 5 years down the road, Josh buys the newest one that has updated hardware that's better, but it's still using virtualization to kind of like bookend that hardware to what the first model was. And then as a developer, I look at the specs and I design it. Oh, these are the specs. This game will be able to run perfectly on this system. And then I buy the game and Josh buys the game, and it's completely unrunnable on my system.
Okay, so
we have the same thing.
Completely having a problem here is that what I'm talking about is if you had a 5-year development cycle.
Yes.
And that you had your console release, which then has the set amount of like stats and statistics as, let's say, like it's a 1S, you're having a virtualization on the PC front as well to emulate the hardware that's already been designed on the Xbox One S, and then you're continuing production of the 1S, the 1X, and the whatever for the console line, and that all you're doing on the PC front is creating a virtualization of that hardware from the console into the PC. You're not virtualizing back on the consoles because it's still within the same generation.
Well, no, my point
Xbox
is
One, and not virtualizing anything from a 360. If you were having something
I understand that point.
You could then virtualize anything from the 360.
But that's assuming that they're still building an Xbox One S that's proprietary and then having a separate PC box.
Well, So
I'm saying if they got rid of consoles completely. Deleted the fact that they're not going to build an Xbox One S anymore. They're not going to build a PS4 anymore.
If they just phase that out.
They're just going to phase it out completely and build a PC.
That has a set virtualization console and a bare minimum of what is allowed to run the game.
Yes.
Which is normal for all PC games as well as other hardwares available.
That is true, but
so they have
we still see developers
environment of a virtual console.
Yeah, but you're not understanding that a developer can ignore that.
Yes, they
just
can.
like they do now with PCs. So Danny's computer is not the most powerful computer among ours.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Josh is probably second. I'm third. I'm next, and then like our buddy who has the newest thing is like first. But if a game comes out today,
yes,
designed for what is average minimum specs, which would be my system, it's not guaranteed to run in his system. It's not going to run as well, right?
I would have to spend extra money just so I could play
So if he bought that game, if he was under the impression that the game is going to run on this system, because as far as he knows, like we buy the same device, as far as we know, it's the same thing and it's the same virtualization. But the developer was like, oh, we're going to bypass that virtualization because we can, because it's a PC, because you're allowed to, because it's basically Windows 10 architecture with a virtual box running.
Then you probably have some sort of angry customer creating a feedback loop that is causing the developer or production,
that's my whole point,
producing it, to then add support to that level.
But I'm just saying, like,
the
point of this
is that
all right, there's
we got way
I
off
just gotta
topic.
cut everyone off. There is a lot going on right now, and I was just trying to look up some stats and stuff like that. But if you guys want to argue further, you guys can do it later. If you guys, listening at home want to argue with them, you can tweet at them.
comments.
Tweet at them, comment on the podcast,
Say
whatever.
your
Tweeted
mom
us, yeah.
gay, all the good stuff.
Call us
Yeah,
ugly.
but I'm just gonna cut you guys off.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
smart.
It's
There's a
gone
lot
too
more.
far.
Move
Always
on
leave the
to-
comment of your mom.
Our next topic
Yeah.
is Ubisoft kind of taking a stab at like a Zelda style game. The game is called Gods and Monsters. It's like apparently like Zelda with Greek mythology.
I am okay. So
I'm a fan.
100%
Okay,
down for it.
I'm gonna say this right off the bat. I love Greek mythology. Like it's one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
it's one of the best mythologies out there behind, say, Norse mythology or maybe even Egyptian mythology. So if it's an action adventure style game where you maybe play some Greek hero, whether it's a well-known Greek hero like Jason or Theseus or even Hercules or something like that, that would be awesome, and just go through
Right.
all the different stories from Greek mythology. But if it's gonna be something like you're making your own stories, kind of like the God of War games, like that is
Right.
its own completely
Those are all
own
great.
story.
Like, you can't-
the God of War games are legendary on how great they are.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like if it's along that lines, then again, it's still gonna be good.
Yeah.
As long as it's just not a complete copy paste of Breath of the Wild or something like that.
Scroll down.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see.
Well, I want to get to the. I want to say this about it first. For me, like I haven't been excited about new IP from Ubisoft for a while, and I'm actually excited about this one.
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
To be
yeah.
honest, like since it's gonna be Montreal, it's gonna be a pretty good game.
Montreal is their main one, right? Their main.
No, Montreal's the
but
one that does the historical
Montreal-
stuff the most.
No, they are the best at utilizing hardware to its fullest,
Yeah.
as well as like just nailing out bugs. Any game,
Montreal
I
had a
think-
lot to do with a lot of the earlier Assassin's Creed games. I'm pretty
as
sure.
well as
right?
Yeah.
Deus Ex.
Deus
Ah.
Ex, yeah, they did a lot with that. I think this looks beautiful, and we'll put
Oh,
this
that
up.
looks great.
We'll put this image up behind us.
We will try.
I'll
try.
I'll be able to do it.
No,
I'll
you
teach
won't.
you how to do it. Anyways, but this looks like a good game.
It looks really
Well,
good.
so far it's one still image. I want
Yeah.
to scroll down.
I
and
don't
see
care.
more.
Somehow
Is that giant hammer in there?
That's not an ad.
Same thing. E3. Somehow the makers of the Assassin's Creed
Oh, there's a
Odyssey
trailer.
are deep in development. There is a trailer. We'll
Let's
watch
this.
Let's watch this real
Let's watch
quick.
it right now. We're gonna give you live shoutcasting of what we think.
Live show.
Oh my god, it's fantastic! It's going in circles.
So this is E3. So a lot of you guys already probably saw this. I personally have not.
I haven't.
I have not seen it either.
If this is the art style, I
good.
like it already.
Yeah.
Right?
Very painted.
It's very cartoonish, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Well, it looks very similar to
It's
Zelda.
like cell
It's
shaded.
literally like
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
cel-
when you think of the newest Zelda,
Yeah.
that's the only one that is like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
but
not a
still
Zelda thing, I would say. It's just, oh,
Medusa.
they tried this out.
Medusa got fat. Holy shit.
Gods of hell. They turn to you.
Whoa.
Harpies.
That was. That is definitely a harpy.
It looks kind of like. That's it?
Oh my god, you fucking
Wow.
bit
That's
2050.
um,
It's gonna be on Switch though.
Well, you
gonna
gotta
be
be.
on
That
Switch.
would probably be a game
It's
I
gonna be
buy on
everywhere.
Switch.
It's
Oh,
gonna be
it
everywhere.
is definitely a game on Switch.
Oh, yeah.
I like the art style, but like, the tiny little clip of what we saw, it kind of did look like Gears of War, or God of War, where you
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
But
jump
you
at something and murder it.
I don't
to
know
death.
about you guys,
also
but
gotta remember, it really looks like Breath of the Wild.
it does. It looks like Breath of the Wild, but I mean,
100%.
Well,
is that a bad thing?
Breath of the Wild, a lot of like,
I'm not saying it's a
the
good or
like
bad
big
thing, I'm
Zelda
just
fans
saying
that don't
it's-
play a lot of anything else.
Yeah.
We're like, oh my god, this whole game is like so new. I've never seen anything like it, and it's literally just like your run-of-the-mill RPG, like.
Oh yeah, that's
Like,
why.
Yeah.
And it was nothing new in it really.
Right.
It
It
was
does
just
look like
super new for
it does look like
Legend of Zelda.
that's gonna be the run of the mill RPG, but you get your own customizable character. Like you're not anybody in particular. Like in every Legend of Zelda game, you are Link,
Yeah, but
Right.
and in
that's-
every Pokemon game, you're either or at least in Gen 1, you're always Red.
In
Even if
every
you
only Gen 1.
There's two
Sorry,
types
sorry.
of RPGs that I
That's
like,
cool.
and those are ones that have a story, which is this one, and then the ones that you can like make your own life, like Mass Effect, Fallout.
But does this really have a story?
I don't know yet. We don't know. We just know that it looks fucking
I
dope.
Yeah.
would say with
That's what I'm
the
saying.
direction they're taking, they didn't mention anything about online play. I would say that it is going to be hardcore,
story-driven.
Story driven, yeah.
which is good.
The
'Cause
game
I
looked fun. It is simply shocking that it's this far along and this close to release. The demo proved that it's coming to Stadia.
Yep.
So we're gonna have it on Stadia, PC, Xbox One, PS4, Switch, and PC as well. With no Breath of the Wild sequel on the horizon and Greek mythology still being pretty fresh material despite Odyssey's existence, it's a confusing,
well, actually,
if welcome E3
incorrect
surprise.
because Breath of the Wild, there is a sequel that is announced already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got announced after E3 though.
No, it was during. It was during. E3.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was during E3 during the the Nintendo Direct thing that happened.
Yeah, because Nintendo
Okay,
just
but
dominated everything.
There's gonna be
Pretty much.
another RPG style Zelda, not the Zelda game that's coming out.
What?
There's another Zelda game that's coming out that I saw.
The one that just came out, like the
Yeah,
beat. What?
it's a remake.
What?
Adam
Of,
plays it. What is
Beat of the. Are you talking about like
the one that's
Necrodancer
music-y one?
Necrodancer
No,
DLC, Beat of
that's a different
Yeah,
one.
Beat of Hyrule. Is that what it's called?
That's,
Beat of Hyrule?
It's not the one I'm talking
It's
It's
about.
off Necrodancer. It's from the.
No,
DLC.
the game they're
Oh.
remaking.
The
Yes,
remaking.
they
of
also
them.
announced at E3 during the Nintendo Direct. They also announced one of the more earlier Legend of Zelda games that they're remaking, like hardcore remaking, because it
Right.
was like a side-scrolling one or whatever.
I need to find it because
forget what game it
remember
was.
watching.
Link's
I remember playing it when I was
I
a
think it
kid.
might be Link's Awakening, which is funny because Link's Awakening, they a couple of years after it came out, they released like the DX version for it or whatever, which was the the Game
so
Boy Advanced version.
I'm not,
of
I'm
the
not
same
that big.
game.
Okay, I'm not
and
that.
now they're doing it
yeah,
again.
I'm not that big into Legend of Zelda or any of the other games, but Link's Awakening, is that one of those cheap ass online PC games with like the side scroller?
No.
Okay.
No,
No,
there's only one of those games
No,
that
that was a
came out.
Okay, so
Well,
what
like,
was this
like
one?
one of those like
NES
AOL style games.
When
or
I was
whatever.
young, I
No,
played
it
this
was
one,
NES.
and I
Okay.
remember the
Like,
intro scene, the intro video, and
so-
I'm hoping they play it here.
So this is Link's Awakening. This one looks so fucking cool.
Oh, this one. Okay. They
So,
did a.
This is
Final
not the sequel that they're talking about
Yeah.
that they released.
It is.
They did a
No,
Final
Breath of
Fantasy
the
VII
Wild
style
sequel
game, or
is
game.
it's
Like,
Okay.
completely like this is not Breath of the Wild
It's
style,
essentially a DLC of Breath of the Wild, except it's
but it's a full game.
an actual full game. So. Yeah.
But this has like a
Pokemon feel.
pop. What are those called? Pop figures
Pop-
or whatever.
Pop,
Yeah,
pop,
yeah,
Pop-
Funko
Funk-
Pops.
Funko Pops.
Yeah.
I mean, what
it has that kind of style.
the thing that drew me
Everything
to
looks like
it
it's
is
made of
it
plastic.
feels like the original Zelda in 3D.
Yeah.
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 And I think
And it
that's
looks dope.
that's what I'm super excited for it because it's like it's a new take on that game that we all played as a child. Whereas Breath of the Wild I was excited for because it was an RPG and I love RPGs.
Yeah.
See, this itself kind of looks more like Animal Crossing
Yeah.
than anything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Pokemon, but yeah, we can go with Animal Crossing too.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
Pokemon's
that's what it
as well.
It's just a top-down RPG.
But there's an actual Breath of the Wild sequel coming out and I did not know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there
It was just a teaser trailer. It's not like a full blown like trailer.
But it's also like a game that's not a real game, but it's also
Well,
a
I
real
mean,
game.
Bot was sequel.
If they do what they
Bot
did
what?
with fucking I swear too much. You gotta cut all these out.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We just
I-
have to put in
I
bold
do.
letters in front of the screen at council every time you say that.
Here, we'll just put this. Whenever I swear, we'll just put that over it.
I'm going to. Right there. Yeah. Right there.
A scream. Oh,
It's
yeah.
literally a lot of the video content from this is from the actual game itself.
Or we could put this over.
It's
Anytime
not-
we swear, subscribe. Subscribe.
It's not a
Scribble.
content.
wow.
Wow.
So a lot of this is just from the first game.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't use anything that's too new.
quite literally, it's the same rendering, it's the same processing.
Well,
it's
I'd use the
literally
same
everything.
engine. I'd use the same engine. I wouldn't make a new engine to make a sequel to that game
Oh, of
because the
course not.
engine's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it runs fine.
It is. All they did was add like 2 new like mechanics that are essentially programmed differently.
This
Not the
this
mouse.
did you guys ever play Twilight
was the
Princess?
best character.
So wait, is this gonna be Ganon comes back?
You'll see.
That's what they all are. Every Zelda game is, Ganon's back.
I wonder
What
who the
fuck do
main
we
character.
do?
I wonder who the main villain's gonna
Pretty
be.
much.
Is it
Pretty
Ganon?
much every single game.
There's another one of oops, I dropped my sword. Now it's 4 of them.
Now there's 4 of them. Yeah, there. I mean, the
Why don't we-
Wind Waker
can we
wasn't
just-
about Ganon.
Can we
This
finally
monkey with the mask is gonna drop the moon on us.
Can we
guys.
finally just burn his body? Why
He's
don't we
also
dispose
Ganon.
of the
Yeah.
body? It's. Let's be honest
It's
here.
magical.
Listen. Link may be the hero. That doesn't mean he's smart. All right.
He's being
Look at
led by the
Goku,
smartest
all right?
person in the realm.
Listen,
She's not smart enough to be like, maybe we should burn this body and destroy all of the bones and
Bobby,
Does it-
spread it across all corners of
Bobby,
Hyrule.
fucking Dragon Ball. You want to talk about the main character who's a complete idiot that's led around by one of the smartest people on the planet, yet still does something fucking stupid? Dragon Ball is the #1 example.
Fairy tale.
But anyway,
Dragon Ball. is the
I
#1
Luigi's
example.
personally, I like. Yeah, look how smart Luigi is. I personally think that Gods and Monsters is gonna be.
I think it's gonna be a
pretty
good game.
nifty
It's gonna be
because AC Odyssey was pretty dope, and the art style looks pretty schnifty.
All right.
And I think I like the fact that they're gonna do a story-driven game because a lot of games that come out now are like
Online based.
just because
Online.
this is-
Esports ready.
esports ready.
Esports ready
Esports
2020. Get ready to see that in
Yeah.
everything. It's like it's gonna be the new RGB.
It's literally a buzzword.
It's the new RGB.
It doesn't mean anything by the end of this year.
No, it doesn't. It
Yeah,
won't.
people are gonna be putting it on like fucking. Like,
Dude, I'm
games
gonna
like
start
the
putting
next-
it on like energy soft drinks.
Esports ready. Yeah.
Esports
Esports ready.
But
Our
at the
dad's
same time-
bathwater whiskey's gonna be esports ready.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. But what I'm saying here
Trademark.
is because it's Ubisoft,
That is
Montreal,
trademark.
Any single player they're gonna push out, it's
It's
gonna,
gonna be
have
solid.
high grade of polish to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a solid game.
I will say this.
It will be.
Going back to the trademark Dad's Bathwater, which is
Oh,
going to be our whiskey brand.
Yeah, our whiskey brand. It's happening.
I thought of the best idea ever.
Gross.
We distill it into a bathtub.
Yeah, dude. That's where it comes from.
That was just used.
That was where the
Why
joke
are
originally
you
started
literally
from.
giving away our secret?
No, like we're gonna distill it into a bathtub full of charcoal, and then that's how we're gonna filter it to
Yeah.
turn it into whiskey.
That's why we're making casks out of cast iron bathtubs.
Well, okay, we have to do actual like
all
maple casks.
all the stuff that you have for the distillery has clawfoot.
Yeah,
on them.
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
that's what it's gonna be. Anyways,
bathroom.
so if you guys,
People are gonna be sipping and be like, I get some hints of Dawn dish.
And is this a pubic hair?
if you guys,
Delicious.
if you guys are whiskey drinkers, we're gonna have available soon Dad's Bathwater,
That's not gonna be a thing.
true American
It is
whiskey.
not gonna be a thing.
True
They're
American.
lying to you.
We've
The
got
most
the
American
stills
thing
ready.
you can
Dude,
get.
when I'm buying a still, I'm making my own whiskey.
Yeah, we got the stills ready. We're ready to go.
Okay.
Anyways,
Playback was aborted.
Moving on to our next topic before I lose my mind here.
Yeah.
NVIDIA.
Yeah, you're gonna
NVIDIA, I
lose your
mean-
mind over all
Wait,
the bathwater.
wait, hold
you're
on.
getting.
what did you just say?
NVIDIA.
No, you said,
I said
NVIDIA.
I said NVIDIA
you
first.
said NVIDIA.
It's because I'm literally losing my mind here. So NVIDIA has laptops that they are releasing to be able to compete against the MacBook Pro. This is more of a topic that you guys will know about, you two.
This is something I'll know intensely about because
But I'll give you the rundown before we start. NVIDIA announced a new line of laptops that will run its RTX graphic processing units. They will begin retailing in June, which, happened a while ago.
Yeah.
Prices starting at pretty much $1,600. And there are 17 of them that will be equipped with Quadro RTX 5000, 4000, 3000 GPUs, or GeForce RTX 2080s, 2070s, or 2060s.
So basically, what NVIDIA is doing is, and I can show you guys my current laptop that I'm running.
They're fucking losing their minds, is what they're fucking doing.
No, not that. I don't even know what that is.
They're like literally trying to shoot for the stars.
So NVIDIA came out with this technology 2 years ago.
Stars, you'll still
called
fall and land
Max
on something
Q.
good, right?
So this was like 2018 that they came out with Max-Q, which allowed them to create laptops that are this small. And this was like the smallest, most powerful laptop you could buy. It has a desktop CPU in it.
Don't mind me.
It's fucking great.
Check out this laptop, guys.
Check out this laptop, guys. Now, ultimately, it's not as small as a MacBook Pro.
Can I be the Vanna White?
You can be the Vanna White. So it's not as small as a MacBook Pro. But that's what NVIDIA was working on with these new things. They found a way to make their GPUs even smaller and basically make their laptops the size of the MacBook Pro. We also have the Razer Blade Stealth, which is a super small and light, hyper-powered ultrabook. These are basically called. So we have the MacBook, which the MacBook is the highest line laptop you can get from Apple, and then you have in the PC realm what are called Ultrabooks, which are like desktop powered CPUs.
This is a big ass thick one with like the dual
No.
fans.
No.
That's a gaming laptop.
Extra.
Oh,
Ultrabooks are super thin and light,
but
but have the same power as this.
Are they
Might as well be like
cost comparison? What is that like?
About the same as a
tablet.
MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
It's
$40 and a pack of cigarettes.
So,
Yeah.
Ultrabook pricing is on
If
par with
only.
MacBook Pro. The thing that makes this amazing, and I mean, they're saying it starts at like $15.99, which is a good price point, and that's like your low end Apple, like
what?
the
I wouldn't say-
Air.
Maybe.
the
I mean,
Air.
for modern day stuff, yes, it would be about
Pricing
50.
wise.
Yeah.
No. Pricing wise, it's literally
like 12,
like
11.
the iPhone
11.
11.
So I got my
$500
original
of
Laptop.
accessories.
What's the cheapest Apple laptop we can buy?
I'm just saying, it's
What
a
is
cheapest
the
Apple
laptop?
plus
The
$500
The Air. It's like
Yeah.
$1,200.
brand.
Yeah, I
Something
want
like
to say it's the Air because the Air, the big allure to it is that it's just
extremely
light.
small. Yeah,
And then
it's
if you jump
extremely
up to the
small.
MacBook, which is not as light, but it's
That's
still
their standard
small.
one.
That's their standard. Then you have the MacBook Pro, and the Mac. I think the most expensive MacBook Pro, which is a 15 inch, is like.
It's like
$3,000.
26 or
It's
something. Yeah,
It's pretty big.
It gets way up there.
But anyways, so their
That's
starting
big.
starting
Pretty
one. I looked at the specs on the cheapest NVIDIA Studio laptop you can buy. It's spec'd out at what my MacBook Pro or the new MacBook Pro 13 inches, which is a quad core, essentially i5. The Apple is using a quad core i5. NVIDIA is using a quad core i7,
Yep.
which has like 0.5 gigahertz faster speeds. It's negligible, but the
Really?
difference is the MacBook
cache.
Pro
That's what's
13 inch doesn't have a integrated or dedicated GPU.
Right.
Whereas the
I
Studio-
know that the MacBook, a lot of the 13-inch ones, like their smallest size ones, are like bare boned.
Yeah,
bare
they're
boned
bare
out.
boned.
They cut a lot of stuff.
But the 13-inch NVIDIA Studio has a GPU in it, has a quad core i7 in it,
Yeah.
has 32 gigabytes of RAM, it has two SSD or NVMe SSDs that can run up to 2 terabytes, and yeah, they're actually pretty nifty. The most expensive one though, the
No.
top tier NVIDIA little box was like what? I think it was like $6,000 for the Quadro 6000.
Now, see, if you want
In a
like,
laptop?
Yeah,
if
they
you
have
want
a
a professional laptop, in my opinion, you don't even go for any of this shit, and you just go for a Eurocom, and probably go for the Sky or the Sky XCs,
but Eurocom's
which-
not designed for content creation.
which has the options to have a completely swappable CPU to any style that you need,
Yeah,
as well as having MXM third gen ports in it, which are usually dual and SLI compatible for running 2060s, 70s, 80s graphics cards as well.
but Eurocom is not designed. This is designed. They're taking aim at content creators and the Apple MacBook market, which is
Which is
photographers,
content
videographers,
creation, yeah.
Correct.
designers.
The big
Eurocom is designed for NASA to do physics simulations and complicated.
that's
Exactly.
where
No,
I'm
engineering.
saying that literally for this price you could get a Eurocom,
Dude,
and
the
not
whole
only do front end rendering for complete video projects, but you could also be doing like hardcore compilation.
the whole idea.
I mean, for this
about,
price, I could get a Pewit.
the whole idea about
for this
laptops
price
and
is
stuff or computers
a
being
lot of
like
something crazy.
like designed and like optimally run for like content creation as opposed to like gaming, as opposed to physics rendering and stuff is so weird to me.
It is very unusual. Like switching because
Like
I started with a MacBook Pro and switching from that back to a PC. It was unusual, but it wasn't too
Like
bad.
I feel like the computers and stuff that are designed and powerful enough to do like your most advanced CAD stuff, like your physics rendering and stuff like that,
Yeah.
should be able to handle everything else no problem.
There's some it's complicated,
And that's
on,
weird.
on why
That's
they
so
on why
weird
they
to me.
can't on why they can't do that. But the biggest allure about
Here's-
about MacBooks, hang on,
Also,
and probably what Nvidia is going for is it's not just
You
kind
said it too.
yeah. How am I supposed to say it?
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA. But the biggest allure for that is not just content creation, but it's group content creation through multiple computers, almost at the same time, just because of the cloud. The cloud is one of the biggest things for sharing content and just making sure that things get by or just get to each other super quick, and that way people can edit it almost at the same time if you set it up correctly. So NVIDIA is probably going to be going for the same thing.
I want to explain this to you guys because CAD rendering uses a completely set of different processing than video game production than
Right, and
photography.
that's so weird to me.
It's weird to you because you don't understand what is involved. It comes down to the math you're doing. So one of the things, and this is why if you guys are buying a computer and you want to get a system made, there are great developers out there for gaming systems like Zydax, Origin, iBuyPower. All of those companies are great for custom-built PCs for gaming, but
Yeah.
if you are doing video production, Zydax systems aren't the best. I always tell people go talk to Puget, because what Puget does is you actually sit down with them and you say, all right, this is what I need to do. I need to do content creation, VFX, photography, stuff like that, or I need to do engineering, CAD simulations, or I'm doing data science and machine learning. What they've done over the course of their entire company is they test every piece of hardware you can buy with every piece of software to see which hardware works better with everything. So they will tell you, you tell them I need to do this, and they're going to be like, okay, we're going to get you an AMD GPU because that's what works best with the software you're specifically using.
Right.
This processor, they build it for you.
Right.
Because it's different math. It comes down to math. So if you're trying to calculate, I don't know who's walking in my backyard right now.
Let's go
If
kill
you're
him.
trying to calculate the trajectory of a bullet, are you going to use algebra or are you going to use trigonometry?
Tim?
It'd be like calculus, trig and calc.
Trig, right? You're not going to use algebra.
I mean, you'd effectively want to use non-Euclidean trig with a side bit of calculus,
But there's a different process to trig than there is to algebra.
yeah, much like how Euclidean and non-Euclidean processing for just trigonometry itself is completely different.
Yes. So, but that's when it comes down to softwares. Different softwares have different mathematics that they process. So, like video creation and VFX is a lot of visual stuff that needs to process that information. So, the GPU-powered rendering and that GPU math makes the most sense. Whereas CAD software is a lot of single-point math. It's a lot of algebra-based math. So, using a CPU is more, important. And that's where that comes from. And that's why NVIDIA is trying to compete with the biggest content creation company, which is Apple, and doing this. And, their thing is, it's actually right here. Their studio is video editing, 3D animation, and photography. So that's all GPU-based heavy mathematics. It's not going to be CPU mathematics. And Autodesk Arnold is brand new. They're really trying to.
They're pushing it.
Yeah.
They're trying to say, oh, we're going to support Arnold.
Video.
This gives people, a
No.
bunch of options.
Blackmagic Design is the company that owns the DaVinci Resolve. Blackmagic Design creates capture cards and video camera sensors.
Mhm.
So, but they're a camera company. But this is, if you guys don't know, DaVinci Resolve has been a color creation or color correction software for years. It's been industry standard.
Right.
And they just came out with their own editor, and they're quickly moving out Avid, Premiere Pro, and Final Cut as the top tier industry standard for Hollywood movies, which is completely separate
Insane.
from anything else. But it's
Yeah.
no one ever would have thought it would do anything like that. But like enhanced creative tools, like they're like that's a lot of stuff. Red Cinema, Red Shift, Stream Elements, OBS, Streamlabs, V-Ray, like Unity, Unreal Engine, like they're saying we are going to support all of this stuff, which
That's ridiculous.
3D
but
Max.
But it sounds awesome. It sounds very promising.
But notice what I don't see. I don't see AutoCAD. I don't see SolidWorks. I don't see anything that's super.
What I
CPU
actually learned from a lot of people is that in schools and stuff you use AutoCAD a lot, but when it comes to actual businesses and stuff, they don't use AutoCAD
No.
very much.
They use
Autodesk is not industry standard. It's SolidWorks or Fusion.
Or it's a proprietary blend.
Yeah, and but they have Autodesk Arnold, whatever that is.
Autodesk Arnold
Maya.
is building off of Maya and 3D Max and kind of like bringing both of them together to create basically the same engine you would find in Unity. Unity is really cool because it has physics engines in it, so you can create actual lighting in Unity that pulls around it.
Yeah.
3DS kind of did it. Maya kind of did it, but it was Maya and 3DS were more like After Effects. You could create a lighting effect, but you really had to so like if I was creating a muzzle flash in 3DS or Maya, the same way in After Effects, I would have to create the light itself, and then I'd have to paint what it's illuminating. Whereas Unity, you create the light and it does mathematics and calculates how the light would spread. And it does it by itself. So, like, I wouldn't have to paint in where that light's going. Kind of like ray tracing. Right. Arnold is taking advantage of ray tracing and all that information and making it so that you create a light source and it emulates that light source. So, like, this light and these lights, how they spill over us. Yeah. I put the window here and these two characters, and it emulates that light for you. You don't have to paint it in and design it yourself.
Right. No,
so that's what Arnold is doing. It's being a lot like Unity.
Plus, you can have a lot more light sources compared to other production softwares.
Yeah,
but overall,
they're basically trying to take over Cinema 4D.
Yeah. Overall, I really like that NVIDIA is pushing for something like this because I personally, probably the three of us personally don't like how Apple has had like a stranglehold. Like if you want really good visuals and audio and stuff like that. Like it's almost always the way to go because I personally just don't like the UI.
I'm excited for this because we know that Apple sucks unless you're doing like Pro Tools.
Kitty.
She wants to get towards me.
I noticed.
Go Kitty. Go Kitty.
Josh, let her come over here.
His finger in the way.
But so yeah. There's things that they're really trying to get around.
Down she goes.
Dick.
How rude!
My cat just wanted to come say hi to me.
It's nice that there's a new competitor because at this point, Apple has just kind of had it.
They've had it monopoly, right?
Yeah, it's just basically been monopolized, and they had very few competitors, and the competitors that they had are
overpriced.
Yeah, overpriced.
Not good.
Exactly.
So like HP has an Ultrabook that it doesn't perform on par.
Here's the example that I'm going to give right now. And this is more for me. WWE.
The
rest. I know, but
wait, what?
Hold on. So for the longest time, WWE has been, or since the early 2000s, have been the only main juggernaut in terms of wrestling. And there are other wrestling shows out there, like there was TNA Impact, there's Ring of Honor, there's New Japan, and they exist, but they just aren't as big as WWE. But now there's AEW coming in, and AEW is being funded by the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who is worth almost twice as much as the McMahons, which means it's gonna be big. It's new competition, basically.
He's excited about wrestling. Essentially, what's going on here is NVIDIA is creating a product that is on par with a MacBook that is as powerful as a PC, and that has always been the problem. Is everyone wants something that runs and is simple and it's not overheating and it doesn't have any issues like that. And they don't want to have to carry around a big hulking thing. I will say, carrying around this thing is a lot of weight. It's a lot heavier than a MacBook. And it's just one of those things that,
you just killed Josh.
There's never been something that powerful out yet, and they're making it that powerful. So we're going to see people really starting to move towards this and away from Apple.
To be honest,
speaking of wrestling, let me just...
It is
comparatively to a lot of what Eurocom's been doing, which in my opinion has some pretty great hardware.
I remember a
which-
time when lifting up a laptop was like curling a dumbbell.
Well, I mean, with a lot of Eurocom's products, it is.
Yeah.
Some
This
of them
is
Like
are
10, 15 pounds or
between
something.
10 and 20 pounds.
When this comes to your
Jeez.
standard laptops, this
Yeah.
is definitely heavier.
It's about 2 MacBooks.
This
But
is
at
it's
the
like
same
more dense.
time,
I don't know. They
those-
They also
10,
are going to
20
have.
pounds, they basically replace an entire rack in a data center. So they're extremely computational heavy.
They're,
Exactly.
What I want to see, and Eurocom,
Yep.
please email me back or something. Like, tell me, I want to see an AM4 third gen processor
stop.
that is swappable on one of these laptops.
Stop.
That's all I want to see.
You guys are abusing my cat on live
How is
television.
this on live television?
holding on to the cat's tail's abuse.
Man, boy. You've
What's the
got
fun of
some
having a
dreams
tail?
if this is going to be
This is
on
the update
television.
live on NBC.
This is the update live on Twitch.
I was gonna say live on NBC, but sure. Because you said television.
I want more pictures.
Welcome to PBS, dude.
But overall, local broadcast. Let's call But
What was it that we decided on? Punk ass bitch.
Dad's
system?
bathwater.
Oh, yeah.
Punk ass bitch syndrome.
Pussy bitch syndrome.
Pussy bitch syndrome.
PBS.
PBS.
Oh, and I forgot we actually were supposed to. We missed this segment.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
The
Ah shit.
would you buy it? So Tim,
Oh yeah.
Gods and Monsters. We have this segment, and we're gonna do pre-order means you really like it. Buy on release means it's like, yeah, I'll wait for it to come out. Rent it means like I want to see what it's like first, and then wait for Steam sale is I'm very indifferent about the whole thing. So Tim, Gods Monsters, what is your answer?
Wait
of our
for
4
sale.
choices. Wait for Steam sale.
Yep.
Okay, so he's gonna wait for Steam sale. Josh.
I will also wait for Steam sale.
Oh really?
It takes a lot for a game for me to be like, yes, I'm buying this.
So this one,
It has to be like a true and trusted series.
this isn't gonna be a pre-sale buy for me, but I think I will probably buy it on release.
So it's still really early on, so we don't know a whole lot about it yet. So I can't say I'm gonna wait for a Steam sale, but I would rent it from
Okay.
what I've seen so far.
So yeah.
So
It's
I say I will
effective.
rent it. I'm not 100%. I'm obviously not. None of us are 100% sold on it because we haven't seen enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
that
make-
trailer
to
was
make.
pretty.
The trailer was.
Yeah.
pretty
If
much
I
a
saw
letdown.
gameplay, maybe let's find some gameplay of it.
They do have gameplay. It was on the thingy joppy.
Anyway, moving on.
But yeah, so
So what about you? What about yourself?
What about the
I said I'd wait for
Oh, you
I'd buy
said-
it on release.
What about the sale of a discless console?
I'd rent it.
Yeah, rent it.
Rent. That's
Wait
a
for
rent.
Steam sale.
I'd it'd be wait for Steam sale because I'm never gonna buy it because
I'll wait for one that's gonna end up in my trash can.
I don't-
Why would I want
I
I want an
didn't purchase-
Xbox when I already have a PC?
I didn't purchase it. I didn't purchase my console for gaming specifically. I purchased it to have a gaming device that I can also watch movies on. So, yeah.
Steam
What
sale.
was this game called?
Gods
Gods
and
and
Monsters.
There you
Careful,
go.
there's also and
There we
and
go.
there we go.
Mom.
Careful, there is also there's a DC TV special also called Gods and Monsters.
Why are we being careful about that?
Be
No
careful.
reason, because it might be something different, because it's something completely different, but it's also called Gods and Monsters.
Is it also being hosted on Pornhub?
It might be.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Dragon
What?
Ball Super Broly
Oh yeah.
was
that's true.
also on
That
was
is
also on Pornhub.
Markiplier's been on Pornhub.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's been a lot of things on Pornhub that shouldn't be on that quote
Like
unquote
this show.
Yeah, this
show's
show.
gonna be on Pornhub.
100%.
You should.
100%.
We will.
We wouldn't have to worry about wearing clothing.
We wouldn't have to worry about
Ah.
copyright.
We could
That's
we could do the whole
Frustration.
Thing. What's it called?
on. Play instantly.
Stadia.
Stadia.
Okay, Stadia seems to be a really fucking weird piece. You know what?
Oh,
I'll just
this
wait
is-
until it
They
actually.
Is that
actually-
just the trailer again?
Probably.
No, it's the E3 junk.
They're
It's the
pro-
E3 presentation about
It's
it.
just gonna be the
Which
trailer.
is mostly them using buzzwords. That's it.
UB3.
Video games.
Video game.
Good.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Greek
there.
Sexy.
mythology.
Anyways,
Color.
so
Cell shaded.
yeah, that's where we're at. This has been the update.
Yeah, this is the
This
end
is
of
his.
our show. I'm tied in here. So this is the end of our show. Welcome. Thank you for watching our first ever episode.
Anyone want to do anything other thinkings?
Don't forget to like, share, and wow.
You know, if you guys want to get in on the conversation, you know, you can always add us on Twitter, Citywave Media on Twitter. You can talk to us there. You can talk to our individual ones, which should be on the screen below. And yeah.
By the way, my Twitter account isn't actually a real Twitter account. I don't have Twitter. Josh just put it up there, just for shits and
It's for you to
giggles.
change.
Danny's gonna make a Twitter account. So
It's
if you
gonna
guys
be
want,
called-
if you guys want to name his Twitter account, you know, make sure you
Oh
comment.
my God, yes.
Vote now for what Danny's Twitter name should
So
be.
as of
It
right
will
now,
be changed by
as
episode
of-
10
The
to
options,
correct
the options will be. We'll each pitch a different option. So,
okay.
Tim, what would your option be?
whatever the comment section decides.
So that miscellaneous.
I really like the XXX.
I was gonna say that.
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park. That's exactly
there's
what I was
that
gonna
one.
say.
We
Okay.
got 2 votes.
XXX 420
And
Blazing
then
Linkin
mine was
Park.
just gonna be Daniel Rex, but
But-
All right, so we got 3 options here. Go ahead, vote in the comments.
Go ahead, vote
By
in the
episode
comments.
10, we'll figure this out.
He
But
will have a
anyway,
Twitter account.
For those of you guys
it's
watching,
100% gonna be the Linkin Park. thing.
for those of you guys watching, you know, at home on the drive, you know, you're stuck in traffic on YouTube. Please feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, so you know when we launch our edited podcast videos, and join the conversation below with any of the topics that you think we're complete morons on, or if you want to, you know, make fun of the way that Rob says console,
Yeah.
you can do it there.
We should put a counter of how many times he says council up in the corner.
I actually was counting. I'm pretty sure it was 5 or 6. I was counting.
I said
like-
it correct a
something
couple
like that.
times too, though.
No, you did not.
no, you
Did
did.
you?
No, you never did.
Because I
You
purposely
never did.
went console.
That's not. That's
That
not
doesn't
the problem.
count.
It's the first part of the word.
Yeah.
Council.
Oh, it's the first
it's
part?
console.
That's why I
Soul.
keep getting it wrong. I thought you were just talking about the end part where I say
Do you
"sill."
have like a hearing disability?
Yeah, I do actually. I have a speech impediment.
Gosh, way to bring it up.
All right, so if you guys are watching on Twitter, please make sure you guys hit the follow button.
Twitter.
Oh my
Twitter.
god.
We're live on Twitter.
Yeah, if
Live
it-
on Twitter.
All right, if you guys are watching on Twitch, make sure you guys follow the channel. Consider subscribing and look down below for all of our special links and sponsors for Citywave Media.
And if you guys are listening to us wherever you found us, whether it be on Google Play or SoundCloud or wherever the fuck you may have found it, just make sure that you leave us a like, that you give us a download, and that you give us and leave a rating for us.
As this helps us out so much, I promise.
I promise.
And if
don't-
you
don't
do,
know
and
how,
if you
but
do
it
all,
does.
if you do all of those, Josh will get kicked in the balls by all 3 of us on screen.
Say a mouth. What do you have? A word from our sponsor.